Hey guys, Martin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so earlier today we got the details for the Dokkan Fest Mercenary Tao, and as always when we get the new unit info I made one of these posts so you guys can let me know what you think of him and his kit down below, and we will go through them for a community response video. So I did my breakdown of him. That video is obviously available if you want to check it out. I also have a video up now discussing thoughts on who could be in his category, the mission executed category, which is certainly interesting. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and jump in, get your responses. I always make these posts and leave them up for a few hours before recording so I can get as many of you guys the opportunity to reply as possible. If you don't see your reply in this video, either because you replied and I'd already recorded the video by then, or maybe you just didn't see the tweet or don't use Twitter, do of course let me know down below in the comments section what your thoughts are on the Dokkan Fest Mercenary Tao. So let's go ahead and jump in. So first off, we have our boy Proton. He seems like a very good card with basically free 80% damage reduction and 80% crit. He does have a lot of attack buffs behind a stun status effect, but it's not like we look at the rest of his kit and he's not already extremely good without that. The biggest question mark with this card is the definition of mission execution as a category. Was Raditz on a mission to recruit Goku? Was Saiyan Saga Vegeta on a mission, Dragon Balls? Was Trunks on a mission to save the future? Was Mr. Satan on a mission to save the word from Boo? And so on, right? And this is something I did actually talk about quite a lot in that video that I put up going over his category, so do go check that out. We give a lot of the examples. There's some other ones here that I didn't even think of, but yeah, there's a real big like distinction for what is the game going to qualify as being a mission for someone, right? Because is it something that has to be given to them by someone else as like an order? Does it just have to be something that is like a goal for them? Because saying that something is a goal for you can also just be said is that's your mission in like just common language terms, right? So it'll be very interesting to see how exactly they do decide, because how strong his team is potentially going to be will be a huge factor in how good he is as a unit, right? So our boy AC, love the choice, love his design, which is basically all offense and then damage reduction. It mirrors the series in a way, but the mission execution category is going to really make or break him. Yep, it's just exactly what he just said. General Blue giving 2-turn support basically for free is nuts after Megetta comes out. Yeah, we just got a banner unit for Golden Week that only gives 2-turn support, like, was it with Universe 6 allies and when attacking, whereas this guy just gives it like if he's in slot 3 or 2, right? Which is kind of crazy. Raudo Tao seems pretty good for his team setup, however it makes it uncomfortable to run him with units like Tech Cyborg Tao or maybe General Blue. No good linking partners for him, easy skip. I mean, yeah, like I think he's an easy skip for a lot of reasons, one of which being the fact that the Global Dokkan campaign is going to be coming out next month. Everyone is going to get free summons with the free tickets, of course, so at least there is that. But yeah, his links aren't great. I guess it depends what his team is going to be like and who he's going to be run with, because he won't be linking super well with a lot of villain characters, even if a lot of these characters that we're speculating will be on his category. He's not necessarily going to link very well with them, so it'd be interesting to see how exactly that pans out. But I mean, he's a unit that seems like he could be good enough that even with the wonky link set, like that doesn't really matter too much for him, but obviously there's a detriment to the other units on the team. Mega Nice, the single summon menace, of course, changed this thing to Tau hype. Damage, rah. Yeah, this guy's a huge fan of damage, loves crit builds, loves characters that do damage, even if they're just bad in general, but they do damage. I think it's almost become a meme at this point that if Mega Nice changes his profile to like, because it was previously Blue Kaioken Defender, so if he changes his profile to being like unit defender, you know that unit's probably bad, but does good damage, I guess. Although Tao is definitely not, I would say, bad, but that is kind of funny. So we got I Want Trent. He has 88% damage reduction with physical Kid Goku, but sub 500k defense at 55%. I kind of don't know. I think they held back because of easy A path to power Kid Goku, but also he's possibly the best unit for battle hardened formidable foes. Yeah, because if you have the all mission execution allies rotation, you can use his active skill instantly on turn 1, which automatically stuns the enemy, and then he does that massive buff against stunned enemies. So obviously in that particular game mode, he is going to be very, very good. But yeah, I do point out here, like, the damage reduction is really important. If he has 400k defense start of turn, remember he has this crazy mechanic that we're seeing units get now, where the 200% defense when they get hit. So as soon as he takes a hit, he doesn't take big damage and then he gets a buff. As soon as he takes a hit, he gets 200% defense, which basically means his defense triples. So if he's got 400k defense start of turn, when he gets hit, he actually has 1.2 million defense. And we calced it earlier on the stream. This was actually without the 8% extra from Kid Goku, just the 80% from his passive. He would need 1.2 million defense to take double digits from a 6 million damage super. So that's obviously very, very good. And then, yeah, this is, I don't know what this is calced with, but I have seen, I think, linked with General Blue. I don't know if it's 55% or Rainbow, but like he does have 400k start of turn. So it's pretty good. Gothkua, I will probably summon. I have much Dragonstones left because I don't summon on Superclass. Yeah, I mean, this guy, even though he is an Extreme Class character, I wouldn't necessarily suggest summoning for him because, like we said, it's not like he's going to link super well with other Extreme units that are potentially going to be on his team. But Eonian says he is as strong as every filler unit needs to be. They hit the mark. Curious to see about the new category and how it plays out. I mean, yeah, this is like, you know, AGL Ginyu, STR Videl, like these characters that come out that don't necessarily seem like the most hype picks for Dokkan Fests, but then they make them really solid. Like, that is the way they should be doing it, because like, we don't want units to come out that we're just like, well, this is an easy skip because this unit sucks, right? Like Raditz, for example, Physical Raditz when he came out, the ROF Blues, right? Stuff like that. Like, even though I do think people should be skipping this banner because of the Global Dokkan campaign, like, we don't want units that come out that are just bad. Because obviously this guy will come back on a banner at some point, and you'll either be able to get him with coins, or you'll just end up summoning him on a future banner. So we don't want these units to be bad, because then what's the point of them existing in the first place? So if they're going to make these filler units, they should be good, but at the same time, you shouldn't let them tempt you into using your stones, right, just because they are good. But yeah, very good point. Snow Rhino says he looks solid and honestly a good pick. Currently seeing how we're approaching the Global Dokkan campaign very soon. I do think General Blue might be better than Tao to some extent. Support on Rainbow Orb changing. Tao only Rainbow Orb changes on his first turn, but we'll see. I mean, Tao definitely isn't better than... Blue isn't better than Tao in like any way, shape or form, right? Like, outside of having dodge, he has no defensive mechanics. So he will get absolutely destroyed by the difficult bosses if he fails to dodge. So, whereas, you know, Tao has the 80% damage reduction. He's a very good support unit, and he's a good unit for Tao's team, for sure. But, I mean, there's no question that, like, he is not better than Tao, right? Ophelia says Tao getting a Dokkan Fest might be good, but I don't like the pick. The hype thing isn't a big deal, but he really isn't that interesting, in my opinion. You could still do something fun with a low-hype character. As he's a unit, as a unit, he's not that special. He feels like a waste of a Dokkan Fest slot to me. I mean, yeah, this is interesting, right? Because... like, even if you don't care about the character, because he said the hype thing isn't a big deal, but then they're also saying, like, the character's build just isn't that interesting, right? I mean, yeah, it's like, he's got damage reduction, he does extra attack with Rainbow Orbs, he does big attack if the enemy's stunned, which is a very restricted kind of ability, and I mean, that is kind of it, right? He's not doing anything particularly crazy, but yeah, he seems interesting. I don't know. Like I've said before, right? Tao, it's not a hype choice for me because mainly he's not on teams that I like to run. He doesn't have good link set. It's got nothing to do with him as a character. He obviously is a great character in OG Dragon Ball. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would say necessarily he's a waste of a Dokkan Fest slot, especially because, as we said before, it's beneficial for players that the unit that comes out in this particular time slot is kind of an easy skip. Because yeah, as Zeke the X-Bot says here, he's fine, but too close to a major celebration to want to try and get him, right? Because you should just be saving your stones at this point. Solok says, worried, feels too similar of a unit to Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, like the Daima Vegeta, but he's more flexible in a fight while not having the setup Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta gets. His equivalent to Super Saiyan 4 Goku support is reliant on orbs to give him the damage reduction. So he's talking about how, like, Super Saiyan 4 Goku gives Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta that extra damage reduction. Tao has the Path to Power Kid Goku that can give him the extra 8% damage reduction, which 88% is pretty crazy. But obviously you do need to get orbs for Goku for him to do that. But it is only 5 if he's in slot 3. And there are a bunch of units on the team now that are orb changing. So I don't think that that's going to be too much of a struggle. So we've got Spraddle Cakes. Says, I think he looks pretty good on paper. In game, I need to see. Not a fan of the buffs behind stun. When most events you can't stun. I mean, I definitely agree with this. Still think he will be decent enough. I mean, the stun isn't a unit killer. It enables him to do an insane amount of attack. It just means you're not going to be seeing that very often because it's not a lot of events. Like as Jaren says, most of his damage being locked behind a stunned enemy is really stupid. I mean, yeah, like Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road. I don't know what categories we have left upcoming that he's on that you'd be able to use him anyway. But again, as we said, Battle Hardened Formidable Foes, it should be quite fun to use him in there. So that'll be interesting to see, I guess. But yeah, having a lot of him being able to be potentially the hardest hitting, like Dokkan Fest TUR, but only if the enemy is stunned is a little bit annoying because, you know, 8 brain, we want to see those big numbers. But Fecto Styler says 88% damage reduction with Physical Goku sounds nice. 96 if you want to be funny. I'm not sure. Is there a way to give him another extra 8%? I'm not sure. I was neutral on him of getting a Dokkan Fest. I like him, but too bad he doesn't link with the STR one. That's a shame. Skip for me, but free tickets, I guess. Good luck for summoning. Tao over Shallot agenda is coming from Vector, yeah. I mean, again, personally, I would have much preferred Shallot. I think a Legends crossover, especially now with the Legends anniversary, would have been really cool. But it is what it is. Elfcon says, as free to play, I can't pull for him, but I'll buy him with red coins later. I love Tao. I mean, yeah, he is a cool character. Like, the card seems good, but yeah, it's like time and place kind of thing, right? He seems good. He'll hit like a truck with those rainbow key spheres. Very true. Says Sane Man. Rain says, goated devs for presenting the easiest skip imaginable on a silver platter right before the global Dokkan campaign starts. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of people will have this opinion if you're not hyped for Tao. But again, like, I guess if you're not hyped for Tao, be grateful, I suppose. Easy skip before a big celebration where you're going to want as many stones as possible, right? Ultra says, he feels like a good pick, but restricted. His new category might make or break him. Yeah, we've had a similar comment before. That is very true, I think. Simon says, haven't even looked at Kit, another non-hype character. This is the 6th banner I've skipped since the anniversary, and I'm a spender. Not good for the game. It's getting boring and stale for me. If the global campaign isn't hype, that's me done. I mean, I'm sure it will be, but I mean, there's been a pretty big variation. I mean, he has a Daima. Is that a Daima Vegeta profile picture? But we literally got a Daima Vegeta. Like, how many banners have we had since the anniversary? I guess if you do count Daima Vegeta as part of the anniversary, because we've had Saiyan Day Kid Goku, Cell, Hit, and Kaioken Goku. I guess you could count. I suppose you could also count Pycon and then Kale and Caulifla, right? And that's 6 banners. I mean, it's a pretty decent spread of like some Universe 6 versus Universe 7, Tournament of Power, like Dragon Ball Super stuff, DB Saga for Kid Goku, Cell games for Cell. I mean, it's a pretty decent like variation of stuff that we've had. So I mean, this is obviously just a personal preference thing. If you skipped a whole bunch of recent banners, I mean, saving for the Global Dokkan campaign is a good idea anyway. But so then we have someone called Kenze posted some interesting calcs. I'm not going to go into full details of these. I don't know how reliable the person that did these are. But according to this, like, even with just one rainbow orb, he has a 63 million attack stat. I'm assuming this is like rainbow max links, right? Does it say 60 additional, 6 dodge with intro? Oh, it's linked with General Blue. So obviously not only are there some links, but General Blue gives like 70% support. Yeah, so I mean, that's crazy though. If that is true, like, just does with one rainbow orb, he's hitting 63 mil. 2 rainbow orbs, it's 88. Then of course you have the active skill. Like, I think one of them is if the enemy is actually stunned. Yeah, so if you only get 1 rainbow orb and the enemy is stunned, because remember he gets like 1000%, well, it's 500% defense, extra attack, and then 1000% if he's under 70% HP. So if you get 1 rainbow orb and the enemy's stunned, his attack stat is 191 million. Oh yeah, there's the rainbow star in the corner. That is insane. So his maximum, if you're 3 rainbow orbs, the active skill turn, the enemy stunned, and you're below 70% HP, 415 million attack stat. I mean, that's pretty ridiculous. And then, yeah, defense start of turn is 251k, which means when he gets hit, it goes up to 750. And then, as we said, like, that is essentially enough defense for him to be able to tank all of the red zone bosses. Because we calced a 6 million damage super when I was doing his detail video earlier. What's 7 million minus 80%? 1.4. Actually, no, because he needs... What is it? 6? That isn't enough, is it? 250, and then when he gets hit, it goes up to 750. So 6 million, which is what Jiren is hitting for, right, at the end of these red zones, minus 80% is still 1.2 million. So he's taking like 500k, and it's also super versus extreme. So he's potentially taking 600k plus from Jiren. If you have Path to Power Kid Goku on the rotation, even though 8% might not seem like a lot by itself, 6 million minus 88% then ends up becoming 720k, which means with this exact same turn calc, if he has Kid Goku giving him an extra 88, the extra 8% damage reduction, he tanks Jiren's super attack for close to double digits, which is good. Obviously, you're not always going to have Kid Goku on rotation with him. So he's not a defensive beast. That's the thing. People see 80% damage reduction and just think, oh, well, he's going to tank like everything. But yeah, 750k, like that's not enough to tank even the hardest red zone boss, let alone, you know, the end of the festival, some of the Battle Hard and Formidable Foes bosses. So it is what it is. And he doesn't get defense on super. So yeah, that's interesting. So Svala says Cell level really good but not top 10 level. I mean, I would say Cell probably is top 10 level in terms of Dokkan Fest TURs, not of all units in the game, so I guess it depends what they mean. Big Lad says I'll never understand the restriction argument. No one is playing Tao with UI Goku. You play UI Goku on Universe Survival Saga and Tao on DB Saga. Tao looks amazing but got skipped for Daima. I mean, I don't think this is really correct. It's a bit narrow. Like, you play UI Goku on Universe Survival Saga. Well, you play UI Goku on Universe Survival Saga, Goku Family, Pure Saiyans, Powerful Comeback, like, because UI Goku in a lot of events, especially AGL UI Goku with that free turn 1 dodge, he's really good in a lot of events, so there's loads of teams you can put him on. So that is the restriction argument. Like, if there's only one good team that Tao can be run on, like, yeah, you play Tao on DB Saga. Well, what if I don't want to use DB Saga, but I want to use Tao? Well, I can't. Whereas if I don't want to use Universe Survival Saga, but I want to use UI Goku, there's a bunch of other teams where I can do that. So, yeah, I don't really get this. But yeah, Tao looks amazing, but got to skip for Daima. I mean, I'm fairly sure that's going to be Global Dokkan Campaign. We will have to see. I want to see what the category consists of, says COJ, which I think is definitely very true. Make sure to go check out the video I made on that earlier, like I said. DB7 Dokkan says it's not just about Tao. This is the worst post-anniversary phase since Modern Dokkan, which started at the 7th anniversary. With the Red Zone and in general more content in Dokkan as in the past, the period between anniversary and the global celebration had zero hype. Embarrassing. I mean, again, this is solely a personal preference thing. Like, if you're a big fan of Cell or the Cell games, like a lot of people did like STR Cell, if you're a big fan of the Hit vs God Goku, like, that's been a big wanted dual Dokkan Fest for ages. Like, even though Kaioken Goku himself isn't very good, and obviously Hit is, like, Hit vs Kaioken Goku has been a massively anticipated dual Dokkan Fest. So the idea of saying that, like, there's been zero hype since the anniversary, when we got one of the dual Dokkan Fests that people always mention, like, anytime we've had a celebration coming up, Golden Week, Worldwide, New Year, anytime there's going to be a dual Dokkan Fest, and, like, you know, we'll go on Twitter and say, who do you guys want to see? People always say Hit versus Kaioken Goku. So to say that there was nothing hype, obviously it's just a personal preference thing, which is fair enough, right? I've talked about how Tao's not hype for me, he is for other people, so it is what it is. But yeah, I definitely don't agree with this last bit here, right? Sky says his kit is okay, but this has to be the worst filler bait they ever did. The new category also makes no sense whatsoever. Our stones are not in danger. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, because, like, if they're going to drop a banner, what we would normally classify as a bait banner is if they were going to drop a banner right before a big celebration to try and tempt you to drain your stones, and then the big celebration comes out with something super awesome, and then you have to buy stones because you just spent them all. Like, the definition of that kind of bait banner is it should be something super hype that, like, you really want to summon for. And even if you like OG Dragon Ball and you want it to have more representation in Dokkan, like, this Tao still seems like a fairly easy skip, considering he's going to be good on that one team build, and that's basically it. But I don't know, let me know what you think. Goo Fury says who, and just posted a gif of Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because again, lots of people, myself included, anticipating this for the Global Dokkan campaign, so Tao an easy skip for them. Buttboy says, is it time Ningen? Would Raditz be on the category? So again, I mentioned that in the video earlier where we talked about how that category works and what exactly is defined as a mission. As far as I know, Raditz came to Earth because it was his mission to go and basically retrieve Goku and make sure he'd finished like taking over the world and getting it ready to be sold off like for the Frieza Force. So that was his mission, whereas the differentiation is like Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth because they heard like Raditz through Raditz's scouter, like the Z Fighters talking about the Dragon Balls, so they came to Earth to see what was going on, but that wasn't necessarily like officially their mission. So we have to wait and see what like the game actually determines. But yeah, if Raditz is on there, maybe, right, the Chaditz EZA could be a thing. We'll see. Malcolm's Normal Adventure says, just so I don't have to repeat myself, did give me solace remembering that he can also get an extra 8% reduction from Path to Power Kid Goku. It's bumped up to 88%, seems really nice. So I think he's just re-quoted. Minato posted a thing right when the details came out of just saying, like, what do people think of Tao? So he said he's really good, but no defense on SA attacking the big 2025. We just need to see him in game because I don't know how I feel about him tanking those supers, even with high damage reduction. Could have been so easy if they just slapped guard on him, even if it's for a few turns. Yeah, because with guard, even with that defense we saw earlier from the calc, where if he gets hit, it's going up to 750k, you throw guard on that as well. And then, yeah, he's tanking a 6 million damage super for double digits. So Drace says, I think he's good enough. It's obvious he's designed to be for specific events, but he's not bad at all. Good choice for a time slot like this. I'm worried at the moment about his new category, though. Do the free summons and save for LR Chadits. Yeah, Drace a big proponent of the Chadits memes. And then we have Anthony saying skip. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on Mercenary Tao? Whether you want to summon for him or not. Whether you think OG Dragon Ball is like a hype pick for a Dokkan Fest. What do you think of the actual unit and what he does? Or, of course, just let me know if you are hyped for another DB Saga Dokkan Fest. Let me know all your thoughts about Mercenary Tao and how good he is or isn't as a unit down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been The Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.